Every child in Rhode Island deserves to go to a school that is safe and warm and dry and equipped for 21st century learning. And because of that, it is so important that we continue the progress that was started 4 years ago when we worked together to enact this historic once-in-a-generation program to repair Rhode Island school buildings. As Representative Potter said, and I want to thank him for his leadership in sponsoring this bill, school facilities are vital to the ability of teachers to teach and students to learn. As a former public school teacher myself, I can tell you that the quality of a school building has a direct impact on everything from attendance to health outcomes like asthma rates, reading levels. Qualities of the building are vitally important. And if we're going to meet our educational objectives and we're going to prepare a workforce for the 21st century, we need to make sure that school facilities are up to date. 4 years ago, we worked together to start this program, the incentive program, to encourage a surge of school construction activity statewide. Since then, this program has allocated nearly $2 billion to repair or replace 189 school buildings across 28 school districts. Those projects are benefiting more than 100,000 students annually and have created more than 28,000 upfront construction jobs. And the difference can be seen statewide, from Cranston, where elementary schools are being renovated, to Johnston, where a brand new elementary school is going up for voter consideration this spring, the new high school in East Providence. The list goes on and on. We need to continue this progress. And so what this legislation would do is a few things. First, it would continue the incentives for what's called STEAM education, so science labs, technology, and engineering and math and art facilities for another 3 years. It would continue the incentive for career and technical facilities for another 3 years, for early childhood education facilities for another 3 years. If we're going to get to this goal that many of us share of universal preschool in Rhode Island, we need to have the facilities to accommodate it. So we propose extending those incentives, the extra 5% of the cost that the state would cover for those purposes for an additional 3 years. Second, we propose adding some new incentives to the formula. So as Representative Potter said, there would be generous incentives that we would be introducing for energy efficiency and renewable energy components to schools in keeping with the state's Act on Climate goals. So the state would cover an extra 5% of the cost of a project if it included an energy efficiency or renewable energy component, and an extra 10%, so a very generous incentive, if the project led to a school being net zero energy, in keeping with the Act on Climate that was passed last year. We would also be adding new incentives for the use of local contractors on these projects and minority-owned contractors on these projects to make sure that the jobs benefit and the economic benefit of these projects stays here at home locally as much as possible. All of these bonuses, both the ones that we would continue and the new bonuses that we propose, would still fall under the same caps that Sharon mentioned earlier, so that it would control costs going forward. And in order to pay for these incentives, we're proposing a $300 million bond for voter approval this November. Happy to answer any questions, but I'll just thank you, each member of the committee, for your commitment to education in Rhode Island. We all share this goal of making sure that every child in Rhode Island does go to a high-quality school building so that they can graduate and enter the workforce with confidence. And I want to thank you all for your partnership. So appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight.